Hey, it's Dream Von Golden here, going live at MacArthur Ford, which is out in MacArthur, Australia. And I'm just standing here in front of this Ford Mustang. Beautiful, beautiful car. I'm going to sit inside it. I've just got permission from MacArthur Yards to do this. It's really cool. The salesperson, Catherine, gave me permission to do this. Now I want to do an introspective about Back to the Future, and I thought a car would be a pretty cool thing to do this way because Back to the Future using that time travel car and everything, and this is really a futuristic Ford Mustang since 1964. So what I'm going to do here today is use the mirror and try and get a perspective, which I can't really see too well with the glasses on, but get a perspective of going back into this endless future. And there we got it there. Now the question today is one about, you're going to get reverse lighting on the video, is going to confuse you a little bit maybe. But the question is really a philosophical question about, if you know where you're going in your future, if you have a choice, then what choices would you make and how would you get there? And if you would know it, then what would you do? And it reminded me of a story of an old Chinese story, which is about a farmer, and he's pretty wealthy in the village, and he has a beautiful stallion, and that stallion breaks out and runs away, and all the villagers say how unlucky it was that that happened to him. And it's curious now that this car becomes very interesting to everybody. But the stallion, they think it's really unlucky that he's lost this beautiful stallion, and the Chinese farmer said, not really sure, good luck or bad luck, I don't know. A few weeks later, the stallion comes back bringing in a whole range of wild horses, and these wild horses are just coming into his farm, so they think he's really lucky, so they say it's really good luck, and he replies again, good luck or bad luck, don't know. His son tries to break one of the new horses and gets thrown off and breaks his leg really badly, and they think that's bad luck. And then finally the people have to go to war because there's a massive war around the area, and his son ends up getting taken to that to be conscripted, but he couldn't because he was crippled. All the people that went away to fight, they end up just being killed, and he's the only young man left in the village because of his broken leg. It's the same thing, good luck or bad luck. It doesn't seem to make much sense at the time until finally you don't know until it all comes together. So the point today for me is that I think it's a paradox. If you know the future, then would you be worried when you're coming up to your final minutes, your final time, or would it help you? For me, I think the paradox would be no good, because life, knowing how it's going to unfold, would be pretty boring. And I think part of the mystery of life is really not knowing what to do. The if question is, what if I had done, or what if I hadn't done? And then the outcome would be totally different. But then you have to live with what you got, and you accept what you have. So I wouldn't really want to look into the future. Would I really want to know what I'm like myself deeply? I think that we reveal that each and every day, who we are and how we are. So I don't need to really look at myself in any detail, because who I was yesterday and who I'll be tomorrow is probably a different person anyway, as we learn more, as we grow, as we get to be inspired by different people, and we learn from the mistakes that we make. That's all part of the process of growing up in life. So that's me today, that's my life, and I'd like to ask you the same question about yourself. You know, if you could look through that mirror, or through that endless past future paradox, and would you really want to look at yourself? Would you really want to know who you really are? Or would you be okay just living as you are and just continue the life journey that it is? Because for me, that's a pretty satisfying thing. I'm Dream Von Golden. It's kind of really hot in this car right now because it's about 40 degrees outside, and I'm cooking, and I can't even see the screen because it's so bright. So I've really enjoyed doing this very different presentation today. I couldn't actually see any names coming up there because I'm looking at it in reverse endlessly. Thank you all for tuning in today. Dream Von Golden, live from MacArthur, and Catherine, the sales girl in there, told me to mention her. So if you come down here, anybody in Australia, you want to get a good deal, she's awesome. And this is MacArthur Ford along the MacArthur area near Camden. Brilliant. Glad you tuned in. See you tomorrow. Dream Von